Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. This show is brought to you by DraftKings. So now after 3 days of NFL action, we do have the 4 divisional matchups set. They are in the books now from this past weekend, and great job by Tampa Bay last night eviscerating Philadelphia. And what a fall from grace in less than 12 months for the Eagles to get where they were with a double-digit lead in the Super Bowl last February to one of the worst teams in the league over the last 2 months of the season. And I would say probably the worst defense in football. That's how bad it was.
Yep.
And now Tampa Bay moves on. Either the Buccaneers or the Lions are going to be in the NFC title game. And the Lions are laying 6 in that spot, total in the high 40s.
Tampa Bay 225-1 here at Circa to win the Super Bowl in August. And a win total of 6.5. And here's Baker Mayfield throwing it all over the yard. They win the division, and he looks awesome in the playoff win. With all the drops, too. Who knows what his numbers were if his wide receivers held onto the ball. But there's going to be some tough decisions for Howie Roseman and Lurie and the Philadelphia organization. I don't think they'll fire Sirianni, but it's in play. The report on ESPN.com didn't help. It's also one thing to lose. It's also another thing to get embarrassed in how it looked. The 0-7 stretch ATS down how they closed and blowing the division and the Arizona debacle at home. Do you practice? Where are the fundamentals? The tackling last night sucked. It was terrible. Taking bad angles on guys. 157 yards allowed after contact. And then you have one big play to Smith, and that sets up your only touchdown. And, as I said earlier, though, but a lot of people are continuing to bring it up, twice he took points off the board. But the 2-point try, for 2 years it's been stealing and a free point and a free play with the tush push. They didn't call the face mask. It was blatant. And then you're down 16 with 10 minutes. What's the field goal going to do? To put it on 13. You're making a 2-score game a 2-score game. It's 4th and 5. Try to pick it up. It didn't work out. But it just looked horrible for Philadelphia the whole night.
Yep. We did get news an hour ago, breaking news. Adam Schefter had this. Jason Kelsey, their 6-time Pro Bowl center, told his teammates that this is it for him. He thought of retiring in previous years, changed his mind, wanted to come back and win maybe another Super Bowl. But this is it. This time it's said to be real and happening per Adam Schefter. That's domino number 1. Lane Johnson, his teammate on the O-line, called it very embarrassing last night, and major changes are probably going to be on the way. I can't wait to see.
Going to blow it up defensively,
well,
number 1.
How many changes are they going to make overall? Mm-hmm. Coaching, personnel, the whole thing. Like, what is their number to win the division next year? What is their win total based on how they finished? Like, is the team really that bad defensively? Did they go from what they were last year to what we just saw over the last 2 months, and they're just very bottom of the barrel in this NFL?
There were several fans who couldn't wait to get rid of Gannon and thought that would be an upgrade.
Well, fans are.
Well, I know. Well, I'll say this. It was people who cover the league who liked the Eagles. People watched the league and cover the league and thought it was okay. Well, thank God Gannon's gone. And they blame him for what happened in the Super Bowl. Okay?
I'll say this one day after their loss, and I could be dead wrong on this. I don't think you can make their win total double digits.
Well, it's a big offseason for them.
We have no idea what's going to happen.
I will trust Howie Roseman, but that's also, you have to get Hurts healthy and get them fixed, and who knows if A.J. Brown's back. Would you be more surprised if they fire Sirianni or Tomlin quits?
Well, I read the phrase, quote, burned out with Mike Tomlin. If that's true, then I'm going to go Tomlin's probably.
Oh, interesting. I like that. This is from our guy Stewart, Steeler fan, Ohio. This is Najee Harris after the game. I have my opinions on things, but I'm just a player. If we want to elevate and get where we're at, we have to change some things in-house. Coach T always tells me just play running back. But again, if we want to elevate and achieve goals, we have to change some stuff in-house.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I could see it too. Maybe he wears on you. I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. It's also the same thing to tie it into Philly. Did he lose the locker room? The A.J. Brown stuff, scrubbing any mention of the Eagles from his Instagram and all that stuff too, and what went on, and the changes with the defense and the horrible scheme and what happened. I don't know.
I will also bring up that a lot of times a voice can get stale. In sports.
Great call. Brian Billick. Absolute time for a new voice. He said it.
Yeah.
That happened now. It took this long, but Richard Sherman said it in Seattle. He goes, it was the same crap every week from Pete Carroll.
Sure.
It was the same rah-rah stuff. Same message, stale, new voice.
Jeff Fisher. Same exact thing.
Okay.
Plenty of examples. And, this also needs to be brought up. I will say the drafting has not been great for the Steelers. I mean, they can hit skilled position guys out of the park with the exception of quarterbacks. I disagreed with the Najee Harris pick going 20th overall or in the first round, wherever he went a couple years ago. Quarterback play has been abysmal. Like, somebody pointed this out on X last night. If this 7-year stretch happened with Bill Belichick, he would have been eviscerated. He would have been gone a long time ago. Mike Tomlin's gotten a pass because it's a Steelers organization.
Oh.
They believe in loyalty, and because he wins more than 50% of his games every single year, he's still the head coach.
Yeah.
They have not been a threat in the AFC for a long, long time.
It's interesting you bring that up because I think a lot of it is national media. I think if you talk to a hardcore, objective Steeler fan, it's a complicated legacy.
Or probably local Pittsburgh media.
That's right.
They'll probably tell you the same thing.
He does some weird, bad moves, clock management, in-game strategy, all that. Look at the timeout situation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it remains to be seen what happens. I mean, there's a lot going on here about does he walk away and are the players burned out and the issues with drafting. I know this. You are in a brutal division, and it's, say what you want off the field, the contract, I got it. But it's Watson, Lamar Jackson, and Burrow. You have to upgrade at the quarterback position. And do you go Fields? You must move on from Pickett. I think we have to start there.
I think Fields would be a good addition. Now, what would you be willing to give up if you're Pittsburgh for Justin Fields?
That's a tough one.
Are we talking third, maybe a fourth-round pick?
Sounds about right.
Okay.
In that, something like that, yeah. Because, again, Fields is not a passer. He's not accurate, and he has a ton of problems. Case in point, the last game against Green Bay.
Right.
You fall behind with Fields, you're cooked.
Yeah. He is an upgrade over what they've had now in recent years, so that's for sure. You're not going to want to get nuts with your draft picks if a team trades for Justin Fields. And that brings us to this, I don't know, call it what you want, a report. This is longtime NFL draft pundit Mel Kiper on ESPN yesterday. Just imagine if this trade happened in the NFL.
You have no second-round pick, so some maneuvering could take place there. And if you trade Justin Fields to Atlanta, you could get the 8th pick overall. So you could have 1, 8, and 9 field and be able to recoup a second-round pick by trading down with one of those 2 picks, either 8 or 9. So a lot of maneuverability for the Bears either way field. But if it's me, I'm taking Caleb Williams #1 and trading Justin Fields.
Okay, so he talks really fast. For those of you who may miss that, he actually brought up the idea of trading Justin Fields to Atlanta for the 8th pick overall in the draft. Did he get that from somebody?
I think he did.
I don't think he. Yeah,
There's no way he would just throw that out there unless someone would. Because that to me is outrageous.
Oh,
that needs to be drug testing immediately.
Oh, 1,000%.
But to me, yes, someone told him that.
I don't think
he's a draft guy. He's not an NFL insider.
Right. He's been doing this for 40 years. I can't imagine Mel Kiper came up with that on his own. Somebody's going to leak that to him and say, "Hey, maybe Atlanta would want to get really nuts here because they like Justin Fields quite a bit." The 8th overall pick in the draft?
Oh, my God.
For Justin Fields? What?
Blank just interviewed Belichick. What do you think Belichick would do if you said, listen, gather around a campfire, Bill. Here's the news. I want to move the pick and get Fields. Are you on board with that?
Yeah.
You go get me out of here. Take me to the airport.
Would you want 5 or 10 years, Bill, under that scenario? The 8th overall pick for Justin Fields. The reaction across this country if Atlanta would actually do that. Oh, it would be scorched earth from coast to coast for the next 2 weeks. Number 8 overall. But, I mean, Atlanta probably should be a player for Justin Fields as well.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty good fit. That's not bad.
Yeah. But you're not going to get crazy and go a top 10 pick. You'll go 3rd, 4th round, something like that. I would be a little bit concerned here, too. If you're a Bears fan, based on what they did by keeping Eberflus and then gutting a lot of the other staff.
Oh, boy.
Do they just want to revamp it, bring Fields back, and bring in brand new coaches on the offensive side and see if they can make it work with him?
Was this April Fool's? Did they interview Greg Roman? Did I read that right?
As the OC, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Adam Chernoff said on Twitter last night he loves it.
Greg Roman?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, Roman had success with the 49ers and Kaepernick.
Had.
No,
Then he abandoned the pistol, which almost won him a Super Bowl. He abandoned it.
Well,
how'd he go? It was a disaster in Baltimore.
A disaster overall?
He did a bad job.
Was he not there in
end.
2019 when they were 14-2?
He did a bad
awesome?
job. They couldn't wait to run him out of town and bring Monken in.
Yeah, but he's a clear upgrade over what the Bears have had.
Over Getsy, okay, but I don't.
1,000%.
Yeah, but look who some of the guys who are out there though. If I could get though, I don't want recycled Greg Roman and bring him in.
With a running quarterback though, he's got that history with him.
Well, this is just going to be a wild offseason though. But then again, we haven't even talked about how about Ben Johnson sitting out there?
Well,
Belichick, Vrabel, Harbaugh. Who knows what happens with Tomlin? Someone's got to go get Ben Johnson.
Can they? What if Detroit wins again this weekend? They're a 6-point favorite.
Up again, yeah. Then again, Dan Quinn's got 4 interviews lined up. I don't know what the hell's going on.
No.
Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. I mean, this is... come on. The guys are wide open. You couldn't have played any worse if you were the Dallas Cowboys defensively and what Loves did and pick you apart.
Yeah.
You're going to lose the press conference from the get-go. You hire Dan Quinn.
How many teams are going to interview Jim Harbaugh? All of them?
You can't allow it if you're Spanos. You already talked to him. How much you want? Here's the blank check. Let's talk turkey.
You
Let's
have
go.
faith in that guy?
No, zero.
Neither do I.
But that's what should be done if you're a businessman. If you claim to be a businessman and you have any common sense, you don't let Harbaugh leave.
Give him $15 million a year. Call it good. We'll recap more of last night's betting action and win some, lose some coming up next year and follow the money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, now we can recap everything. Highest scoring team of the weekend, Packers, 15-1. Thought it should have been higher than that. Lowest scoring team, Dolphins, 8-1. Most passing yards, Dak plus 450. Most rushing yards, Aaron Jones, 7-1. Most receiving, Puka, 12-1. Home teams went 5-1 straight up. Of course, the only team that loses, Dallas, and they'd won 16 in a row at home. The Steve Mackinnon numbers, wild card round only. The point spread doesn't matter. It had been 85% going back just in this round. Well, the point spread only mattered in one game. The Lions won but didn't cover. Bills to win between 11 and 15 points, 5-1. The alt over, 45.5, plus 290. Dawson Knox, first touchdown, 25-1. Johnson, anytime touchdown, plus 425. Calvin Austin, anytime touchdown, 12-1. David Moore, first touchdown, 48-1 here at Circa. Oh, another one again. Feel free to tackle somebody, Philadelphia. But then your bad beat you had with Otten. Trey Palmer, anytime touchdown, plus 450. Safety in that game, 15-1. Mayfield, 2 touchdowns and the Bucs win, plus 310. Eagles to score in both halves, no, 12-1. Shutout in the second half. Every team scores a touchdown in the round of the wild card round. That cashed, plus 150. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. I guess he found God last year. He tweeted about it on Christmas. How about you get in a car accident? You're in serious trouble, and Hulk Hogan saves your life. There's the picture. He has an NWO shirt on, and he helped out. He had to puncture the airbags to save the gal, and I think he had a pen. He came across a pen to save the day, and Hulk Hogan got her out of the wreckage. Great job, Hulk.
So he's in like full costume here.
Yeah, how about that? Right.
He's got the NWO shirt on and
yes.
like the bandana.
Was he going to a gig or something, or is he just walk around like that?
I'm guessing that's who he is and what he does every day of his life.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if what was his real name, Randy Poffo, or if Macho Man Savage walked around like that. like he's doing a Slim Jim commercial.
Do you think Hogan says brother as often as he does?
Yes, I do.
Like in real life?
Yes, I do.
I think he does too.
Hey, brother. Yeah, absolutely. There's the one win some. Plenty of lose some. Eagles end the season 0-7 ATS. Pittsburgh 1-11 straight up without Watt now. and the Bills put up 30 on them. Bulls Hawks over. Bulls Heat. No, who was it?
It was Bulls and Cavs.
Bulls Cavs over 219 up to 223, no good. Nets Heat over 217 up to 221, loser. Minnesota, when the number one team in college basketball, +1, went off a 3.5-point favorite and lost to Iowa. This could be win some, but I'll put it under lose some. Joel Embiid the other day. Goal is the health, not the MVP. He misses 7 more games. He's ineligible anyways.
Yeah, that's right.
So keep an eye on that. Here's what I talked about earlier. Let's go to the videos. Look at the scene at Buffalo as the fans are trying to get to their seats. And you got to, clear the snow out to get to your seat. Little help here, right? It's $1 billion industry. We can't hire the fans have to come in and we got to pay them $20 an hour to clear the... Get out of here.
I actually read it was open seating because of this mess.
Yeah, that would help out.
So fans, whoever showed up, could pick wherever they wanted to sit.
My God, we can't... little help here. Can we hire somebody, NFL, to clear the stadium? 508, 509,
That stadium does not have any, heating below the field or anywhere
Correct.
else.
Yes,
so
correct.
so outdated. So that's what they want in the new one.
Right. Emmys yesterday. All the chalk got there, but Rob McElhaney, who's an Eagle fan, while he was at the Emmys, was trying to watch the game. Who schedules the Emmys? Who schedules a football game while the Emmys are going on?
Uh-huh.
Or who schedules a football game, whatever? And there's the picture there where he's looking. And they won a couple awards yesterday, also from Wrexham with his buddy Ryan Reynolds. But there's a couple shots where he's trying to get probably by the second quarter, you shut it off and said, I'm sick of this. I don't want to watch anymore. What's it called? Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very good. And this is bad. This really puts it in perspective. Since Tom Brady won 5 playoff games just with Tampa Bay, the Cowboys have 4 since 1997. If that doesn't put it in perspective and how bad this organization has been, that's embarrassing. That is nuts.
I heard a lot of Dak's not the guy. They got to move on. Take the salary cap hit.
Uh-huh.
And I agree.
Okay.
He can't be the guy.
Bad for the books. Knicks Magic under 227 down to 217. Easy winner. The gal who plays Shiv from Succession, Best Actress, 750 up to 1,200. She won, and Succession cleaned up. And one bad beat to the over Mike Evans receiving yards. Oh, the drops.
I'll give you another bad beat.
Go ahead, yeah.
And I'm sorry that it didn't get there because I know plenty of people who bet this. The Josh Allen over 8.5 rushing attempts.
Yep.
That's a rough one to get over.
Where are the design runs that should be part of the whole game
They were
plan?
non-existent last night.
Ridiculous.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. Down the stretch, it was happening more and more every single game.
They also are horrendous with the tush push. They
Terrible.
know not what they're doing. They don't no clue what they're doing with
and then I needed to get the ball back one more time to take a kneel down, and Mason Rudolph was running on 3rd and 10
Oh, God.
to end the game like that.
Yeah, I took 10 in the game. Throw the ball in the end zone. He's scrambling. He's throwing 5-yard passes. The back door was wide open. Start your morning with a daily dose of winning strategies, insider tips, and the latest buzz with the free VSiN Daily newsletter. Expert analysis, latest odds, straight to your inbox, absolutely free. VSiN.com/newsletter to subscribe. There you have it. Great job, guys. I also thought the Emmys were fantastic last night. Anthony Anderson did a great job as host. They paid tribute to all the great shows over the years and honored Sopranos. They even had Ted Danson, George Wendt and Norm, Cliff Clavin. They came out, Cheers tribute, Game of Thrones. It was awesome. But the Better Call Saul got shut out again. Now, I think people that think it's better than Breaking Bad are nuts. But Better Call Saul has set an unfortunate Emmys record for most losses ever. It received 53 Emmy nominations during its run and never won a single one.
Oh,
That's
boy.
from Variety today.
Like nothing, no direction,
Apparently
no
nothing.
storylines, none of the major categories didn't come through. You're telling me that every year, I agree with you. I think Better Call Saul has actually gotten a little overrated over the years.
Right.
It's not in the same sentence as
No.
Breaking Bad.
No, that's outrageous.
So we'll stop it right there. But Odenkirk was still awesome.
Very good. And critics love it.
Yes. So
And
you're
has a
telling me
huge
that
following.
every single year
Yeah.
somebody was better than him. Okay.
Yeah. All chalk last night. All chalk.
Everything across the board?
Everything chalk. Yep. The gal, what a surprise. I didn't see the betting odds for the lesser categories, like The gal from Jeffrey Dahmer won on Netflix.
Wow.
I didn't see that coming.
Pretty
She had
hardcore.
an emotional, a pretty good speech as well when she won. But it was all Succession. It was all The Bear. The Bear cleaned up. That girl, the young gal on The Bear won. She won like 3-4 awards the last couple of weeks.
So-
I think she's below average.
Well, what do you think of the guy who won Best Supporting Actor?
Oh, Jeremy Allen White?
No, the other guy. Cousin, cousin.
Oh, I know.
He won Best
I can't-
Supporting
I'm with you.
Actor?
Good call.
What?
I don't
Are
get
you
that either.
serious
I don't
with
get
that?
this.
I want to fast forward through his spots when he's on the show.
I should have stuck with it. Who knows? Maybe I had a career. I took lessons for 3 weeks. Was in one movie. I don't get it. I can't believe the gal who plays Shiv, the girl on The Bear, and cousin. They keep cleaning up at the award ceremonies.
Also,
I don't get it.
I saw this because every time I tune in last night, it was a commercial. I'm like, I forget this. I'm done. I'm not going to keep going.
Cousin. Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yeah. Jennifer Coolidge won. Is that accurate?
Oh yeah. White Lotus. Yep.
Okay.
She won too. I don't get it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst shows I've ever watched in my entire life. That is one where I'm like,
there was one category where like 6 of the 7 nominees were White Lotus. I go, who thinks this thing is good?
My wife and I watched that show both seasons. I would pause it every episode and look at her, and we'd be shaking our heads like, are you serious with this? Her, Coolidge, and this show is what
So
people
annoying.
are talking about? You're
So
telling me
annoying.
this is so good? Like at the end of every episode, we had to ask each other, do you want to watch another one or no? And it was like, not really, but we're this far into it, so I guess we will.
What's the commercial she's in? Is she supposed to play that character in the commercial, or is she Jennifer
Or is that really
Coolidge?
her? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I thought
I forgot about that one.
Now, she was great as Stifler's mom, the MILF.
Oh, yeah.
Mom. I love that.
Continue, Paul. What? The mom
I
what?
love that. Yeah. Yeah, what a time. Yeah, sure. I called my mom once. I met this gal, and she was up there in age. I said, Mom, you won't believe this. Oh, it was great. Oh, I miss her. Both of them, the MILF and then my mom. But that was a huge movie. That was enormous, and Coolidge was awesome there. But it's just I don't get what the hell's going on with some of this stuff. I don't get it.
No.
I liked Succession. I thought it was over, but no, Culkin, very good. Like that, I can't. I thought Culkin was fantastic in the show. So, but we're at this point where it's either the best thing ever or it sucks.
Of course.
There's nothing in between anymore.
No. VSiN host Femi Abebefe is going to join the show coming up next. He's big into the Cowboys. If he had a bet on McCarthy coming back, would he bet the yes or the no?
DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Some of the props are already up. They'll bring the heat coming up this weekend as well with an eclectic mix. And new customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code VEGAS. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, code VEGAS. The crown is yours.
All right, more NFL here. Femi Abebefe joins the program. He hosts Lombardi Line Friday and Saturdays right here on VSiN. Also is the host, along with Michael Lombardi, of GM Shuffle, podcast that comes out every Monday and Thursday. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. Femi, how are you today?
Doing good. It was nice to have a Monday doubleheader yesterday. It was kind of unique having a playoff game Monday afternoon, but we were able to win in both games, so it was a nice end of the Super Wildcard weekend.
Nice. Okay, so then the Bills had some injuries at the tail end of that game yesterday. Well, also like in the second quarter. Bernard he's carted off the field. He was responsible for 143 tackles this year. Really good player defensively. They had some other stuff too. Is that enough for you to wait to see about the injury report this week for the Bills, or did you want to get involved in that game already?
I wanted to get involved already. I think this is one of those, if not now, then when situations for the Buffalo Bills. And it sounds like they're going to be able to get their cornerback, Rasul Douglas, back. He didn't play in that game Monday. Yep. So at least they should get some corner help. I know Teron Johnson got hurt in the game as well. So the Bills are just absolutely depleted on the back seven of that defense here. But I just think that if you look at any sort of measurement from the 17-game sample size, Buffalo is just a better team than Kansas City. And the only reason why we're sitting here at a 2.5-point spread is because of Mahomes and Andy Reid. And they do deserve that kind of respect because, like, those guys, their postseason resume is, it's bar none outside of what New England was able to do over the past couple decades. But I just think when you watch Kansas City Saturday night, and this is a Chiefs team that I bet on, I laid 4 against Miami, they still have the issues of inability to execute in the red zone. Their pass catchers are shaky. I mean, Travis Kelce dropped how many passes Saturday night? It's like this offense just still looks a little bit clunky, and Mahomes is awesome, but the surrounding pieces aren't that great. And the biggest problem that I have with the Chiefs is the offensive line is still shaky. Now, that didn't get exposed Saturday night because the Dolphins were on edge rushers 5 and 6 after all the injuries that they suffered throughout the season. Buffalo has a little bit more juice in the pass rush department to get some pressure onto Patrick Mahomes. And then also offensively for the Bills, this is a different Bills team than what we've seen over the last 2-3 years when they've taken on the Kansas City Chiefs. This team can run the football. James Cook has been terrific this season. He's one of the best running backs in the league. Josh Allen, I mean, we're going to see that replay of the 52-yard run that he had for the touchdown for years to come. Like, he's obviously done a lot with what he's able to do on the ground game, and they're going to run him more now that we're in the postseason. I think Buffalo can control this game, and I just trust their offense more in the red zone than I do Kansas City. I think that's where this game is going to be decided, and if that's where it is, give me the Buffalo Bills laying anything under than a field goal. So I think the Buffalo finally gets over the hurdle and gets to the AFC title game, knocking off Kansas City.
What if they lose? You've been finally waiting for Mahomes to come to your place, and are they going to knock you out of the? But what do you think? How crazy you want to get sky is falling if the Bills lose?
We haven't heard anything as of late. In midseason, it sounded like we were hearing stuff when Sean McDermott went ahead and fired Ken Dorsey, but I think they would make a change at head coach. And this is not any sort of inside information that I have or anything. This is just me speculating. But how could you not? I mean, if you keep hitting your head on the Kansas City ceiling and hitting your head on the divisional round, you eventually have to do something different when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen. And with all the alternatives that are out there in the head coaching cycle, whether it's Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, Jim Harbaugh, a bunch of different coaches that could come in there and take advantage of this situation. I think they would kind of consider making a change at head coach because there's no one left to fire. McDermott already let everybody else go, whether it's Leslie Frazier or Ken Dorsey. He's the guy that's next here on the list here. And if they don't win this game, I think his job could be in jeopardy. Yeah, and I would love to have Ben Johnson too, if I'm a fan of an NFL team. What would you do in Philadelphia? I mean, it's one thing to end the season 0-7 ATS and to start 10-1 but it was embarrassing. And how bad the defense was, you get blown out. What do you think happens with the changes there? And would you bring Sirianni back? I would. Now, I think they're going to bring Sirianni back, and if I was running things with the Eagles, I would bring Sirianni back just because I wouldn't want to overreact to what was a bad end of the season, and it was bad, like with a capital B, especially on the defensive side. I think you just have to make more coordinator changes, which is unfortunate. You made all the changes after those guys took head coaching jobs a season ago, but it's clearly not working at offensive coordinator with Brian Johnson. It's clearly not working at defensive coordinator, whether it's Sean Desai or Matt Patricia, and you have to get a lot younger, too, because as much as we blame the coaches and all that stuff, the coordinators for the Eagles, especially on defense, they're old. Darius Slay's older. He got hurt once again last night. James Bradbury, I mean, he's just been absolutely cooked this entire season. Deebo Samuel was right when he called them trash all throughout the offseason, and he called them trash in the lead up to that game against the 49ers because that's what he's been like. I mean, the guy can't tackle for some reason. I guess he didn't know what he was signing up for last night against that Bucs team. And also at safety, Kevin Byard, I know they made the midseason trade with that, but he's an older player as well. There's a reason why Tennessee was willing to let him go. They just looked old and slow on the back end, and they've never really invested in linebacker, and that kind of caught up to them as well once those DBs got older. So I think that was the main crux of why you saw so many issues defensively. Now, they have a solid amount of cap space, and they should have enough draft capital to maybe overhaul that back seven, but I would bring Sirianni back just because you want to have some sort of continuity. And this is a team that a year ago went all the way to the Super Bowl. And this year, even though they lost so many games down the stretch, they still won 11 games. I would bring him back. And unless maybe Bill Belichick said, hey, I want to come there and texted Howie Roseman, then that's when I would entertain that. But as of right now, I think I'll try not to overreact and I'll bring Sirianni back for another year.
Yeah, and by the way, we found out some breaking news about 90 minutes ago. Adam Schefter had this. Jason Kelce, 6-time Pro Bowl center. It appears as if he's going to retire now in the offseason. You are big into the Dallas Cowboys. If I had to make a prop right now, and it was a pick'em, and it was, will Mike McCarthy be coaching the Cowboys in week 1 of the 2024 season, would you bet the yes or the no?
I'd bet the no. I'd bet the no. And I think the reason why I'd bet the no is because there's one thing that Jerry Jones despises, and that's apathy among the fan base. And I think if you bring Mike McCarthy back, you'll get that apathy. Like every Cowboy fan that you talk to, whether it's me or your neighbor or whoever, they'll tell you that they cannot trust this team going forward in its current iteration. Now, the quarterback, he has a $59 million salary cap hit. So my guess is that they extend him this offseason to lower that number. So if you're not going to change the quarterback, which, I mean, that's a whole other conversation based on how he's played in the postseason, you got to change the head coach. And you got to just get new blood in there because the psyche of this team is just completely wrecked when they get get to the postseason. You could just feel it when you're watching the game on Sunday afternoon. Like the minute something went bad, it was all right, panic mode. They were stressed out, and it's like, guys, like this is still a lot of football left to be played. They began pressing. Dak starts throwing the pick sixes and everything. Like you just need someone in there that's going to get this team more well prepared, because that was the biggest problem. I thought they didn't look like they were prepared for the fight, and Green Bay took the ball first, and credit to them. They shoved it right down their throats, and ever since then, Cowboys were chasing the game. And I think you just need a wholesale change in terms of your defensive staff. Dan Quinn did a good job as a coordinator. I don't think he's a bad coach, but they just need something else in there from a defensive standpoint. And then from the head guy, McCarthy, 12 wins in a row, 3 straight years, and he had a really good run. But I think it's time for him to go. They've hit their head on the ceiling with Mike McCarthy, and Jerry Jones doesn't like apathy, and I think you'd get that if you brought him back.
By the way, I brought this up yesterday, Femi. Here's the thing. When a team, this doesn't happen every time. Well, we saw with Michigan, latest example, right? There are building blocks to an organization or to a program. Like they couldn't get past Ohio State. Then eventually they started to beat that team, and that led to a playoff spot, and then another one, and then they won. It's gotten worse over the years for the Cowboys, not better. So, I mean, I think to your point, something drastic has to happen here. So they were just destroyed by Green Bay. Now they move on to take on San Francisco on Saturday night, catching a big number, and the total has moved up a little bit here. Do you expect points again in this matchup?
I do. I bet the over. I think these might be the 2 best offenses in football, at least over the last 5-6 weeks or so. Jordan Love, he's done a terrific job back there. And the Packers' offensive line, they were incredible against Dallas. The Cowboys can get any pass rush. Yep. This is one of the top pass block win rate offensive lines in the league. And I just think that this Packers team, their skill guys, they just have so much confidence down the stretch what they've been playing with, and they're healthier as well. Christian Watson, we didn't see a bunch of him on Sunday, but I think we'll see more now that he's healed from the hamstring injury. Love, there's an argument that can be made, and I don't want to throw disrespect to Brock Purdy. There's an argument that can be made that Love might be the best quarterback in the NFC. Just based on the way he's played this season. He's played at an incredible level. I think we're going to see a lot of points because also on the other side, Kyle Shanahan, I think, is going to have his way with Joe Barry. Yeah. Unlike what the Cowboys were able to do, I think Shanahan is going to have the 2 weeks to prepare for this game. I think he's going to have a lot in the bag. And the weather seems like it'll hold up. I know yesterday it looked like it might rain. It might be a little bit of wind. Today I looked, and it sounds like there's not going to be any rain, and the wind might be low. So obviously monitor that as we progress throughout the week here. But as long as the weather isn't too crazy, I think we see a lot of points Saturday night.
You can watch Femi along with Michael Lombardi and the crew on Friday and Saturdays on Lombardi Line right here on VSiN. And also he hosts the GM Shuffle podcast with Mr. Lombardi. It comes out every single Monday and Thursday. Femi, great stuff today as always, man. Thanks for the time. We appreciate that.
Awesome stuff, guys. Good luck with the bets.
There you go. You can follow him on Twitter as well, at Femi Abebefe.
Can you imagine this? I'm not saying this is all going to happen. Tomlin could resign. Sirianni could get fired. McCarthy could get fired.
McDermott if the Bills lose?
McDermott if the Bills lose. I don't think that's outrageous. I mean, he's right. Who else if you can't fire anyone else? You blamed it on the OC, Dorsey, the first time we had issues. So he's right. If you can't beat Kansas City, when's it going to happen? This is the best chance you have to beat them. You got the game at home. You're the better team. You're favored. Win the game.
And maybe they want to strike while the iron's hot, and you have so many great candidates out there too.
Thing. Right.
This is an abnormal NFL offseason.
So how about Ben Johnson in Buffalo? That's gonna be.
Where's Vrabel going to land?
I don't know.
Watch out for Seattle with Vrabel.
I like that.
That might happen.
That's not bad.
In-pocket plays are coming up next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
Here we go. The graded plays. Steelers plus 10. Gave you a chance, Mason Rudolph, and you blew it. Backdoor wide open. Bill's giving it to you. How about you throw the ball in the end zone? No good.
Well, you were really hoping for that game to be played on Sunday in those conditions.
Yes, I was.
With the 10 points, yeah.
Yes, I was. And that certainly the conditions were benign yesterday. No walk-off win in the Super Wild Card round. Winner. Every team to score a touchdown plus 150. Winner. That happened as well. Miami scores 7, Philly scores 9. Wow, okay. Took 6 with Tampa. The tough game. But I don't know what we're going to get out of Detroit. They might come out and pressure's off. Hey, we finally exercise the demons. They win by 17. Or maybe it's like still in celebration mode and they come out and Baker throws all over him again and he's hot and Tampa continues this great story. But I'll take the 6 with Tampa. I think it's too high. And a little wah-wah Debbie Downer here. I think the streak comes to an end tonight. The Islanders team total over 2.5 goals. Winnipeg, 32 games in a row. I think the record, what was it, 45? Boston Bruins we got to the 20s, what we mentioned the other day?
Yeah, but from like this generation, it was the 2014-15 Wild at 35 games.
Okay. Now, the Winnipeg Jets winning streak came to an end. They lost at home 2-0 against the Flyers. But 32 games in a row, an opponent hasn't scored more than 3 goals. I think the Islanders can get to 3 tonight. You also have Edmonton taking on Toronto. That totals 7. Edmonton has won 10 in a row. What a turnaround. That's a good game tonight, hockey. All right.
Well, you're taking a walk on the wild side. Going against the streak.
Going against the streak. I think the Islanders can get 3 goals.
Well documented at this point on the show today. Josh Allen did not, I apologize, it didn't get there for us. I know plenty of people who were on that bet.
Tough.
I don't know what to tell you. Man, that one stung. He landed on 8. Over 8.5 even money is a loser. Steelers plus a 10 as well. I was hoping the game would be. I like both more because I thought the game was still going to be on Sunday when I made those bets.
Man, that's such a bad beat because even we got a text here. Rudolph ran 5 plays in the final minute 40.
It's impossible.
What was he doing? But there, I mean, you get a stop, they score. You're going to take the knee, get the kneel down.
So loser there plus a 10. Winner last night, Buccaneers plus 3 against the Eagles. That was minus 120. I would like to piggyback Matt Humans today, fading Purdue. I did that a couple of weeks ago. It was a loser. Last week they lost on the road against Nebraska, but 10s are gone now against Indiana. So I'm not going to bet that. I like K-State, plus they're still a national sports book right now. You can get 1.5 with K-State against Baylor in college hoops tonight.
Start your morning with a daily dose of winning strategies, insider tips, the latest buzz with the free VSiN daily newsletter. And get up to vsin.com. Website with a brand new look. Expert analysis, latest odds straight to your inbox, absolutely free. vsin.com/newsletter to subscribe.
Hey, I want to throw this at you, Pauly. One reason why, the main reason why I would consider keeping Justin Fields if I'm the Chicago Bears, it's because on the possible haul that you could land for that number 1 overall pick if somebody's willing to trade up for Caleb Williams. And I'll tie it in. This is a really good tweet from Covers. To go over the Browns-Texans trade. Browns got Deshaun Watson and a 2024 6th-round pick. In return, the Texans got a 2022 first-round pick that ended up being guard Kenyon Green, a 2022 4th-round pick, running back Dameon Pierce, a 2023 first-round pick turned into Will Anderson, a 2023 3rd-round pick turned into Tank Dell. They have a 2024 first-round pick and a 2024 4th-round pick to boot. Right? If a team comes to Chicago and says, we'll give you all of these picks, multiple first-rounders, you have to consider it. I mean, we can go back and re-examine the trade for Russell Wilson from Denver's side.
Yep.
And what Seattle's going to end up netting from that.
I didn't see that before the game. That was the most Cleveland thing of all time. They're hot. They make the big trade to get their quarterback, and the new guy beats them. With the Watson trade and what happened. And that you had that angle too. But it's hard, I know. But it's like what the GM said. The Bears. This is a unique situation.
I thought about putting in a tortured fan base parlay this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
For the Browns, the Lions, and the Bills to lose. I didn't do it. Might do it this weekend. Could go Tampa money line, Chiefs money line, and just... I told you so. Tortured fan bases.
Yeah.
Kind of joking. By the way, DraftKings has rushing yards props up in that Chiefs-Bills game.
Yeah.
Pacheco is 61.5. Cook was good yesterday, 58.5. Josh Allen's rushing yards in this game, 43.5. His rushing attempts, again, is 8.5. They open it up at minus 140.
He's 43.5?
Rushing yards, yeah.
It's too low.
What do you want to do with Mahomes? He's 27.5.
I want that over, too. So, last 5 meetings. Buffalo won Obviously, they're all in Kansas City. Buffalo won this year 20-17. Cook had 80 yards receiving and 60 rushing. Last year, they won 24-20. Diggs had $150. Allen threw for 329. The playoff loss, an all-timer, 42-36 in overtime. Davis had 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Allen threw for 300 yards. Mahomes had 378. They blew them out that regular season, 38-20. Mahomes had a pick six. He threw two interceptions. It was 31-13 Buffalo, and then they won 38-20. And then they lost in the AFC title game, 38-24. Yep. Mahomes threw for 3 touchdowns. But finally, you get him at your place. But you nailed it, though. They won, okay, but you also lost a ton of guys that were injured. We'll check the injury report. But you also played Monday, and Kansas City played Saturday. And I'm going to trust Andy Reid here and take him over McDermott, and I just think it's been ugly. No doubt about it. But Kansas City only giving up 17 points per game defensively, and maybe they'd make enough plays and they win like a 23-20 type game.
I was going to ask you about that. The total, where it's sitting right now.
Right. Well, you look. Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say it's right in that kind of the wheelhouse, but it seems a bit high to me.
Yeah, it does seem high. What you look for right off the bat is the fourth quarter and second half under.
Yeah.
I mean, every Kansas City fourth quarter has gone under this year but one. 17-1 to the under.
Yeah. So you mentioned that with James Cook, how effective he was the last time they played. Also, DK right now showing his rushing and receiving yards combo prop, 79.5.
Oh.
Like he's going to be a factor in this game, is he not?
He had 140. That's 140 combined in the last meeting.
Which defense do you trust more?
Kansas City.
Especially with the injuries yesterday?
Yes.
I got to go Kansas City's defense. They have.
Yep.
They are the reason where they are at today.
Yep. They did a great job shutting down Miami.
Yeah. In fact, how many wins do you think the Chiefs have this year if they had a typical KC defense over the last 4 or 5 years? The defense really, the offense was, we all know this. I mean, the problems at wide receiver, dropping passes, no explosive plays, nothing happening in second halves of games. Offense didn't get him here this year. Offense was good in the cold against Miami. They had more than 400 yards. Don't you really like Rashee Rice, by the way?
Yeah.
Like, isn't he going to be a baller with Mahomes moving forward?
Yep.
Really a good weapon.
I thought we were going to get it, though. I was really salivating at the possibility of Sunday going Cowboys-Lions and Chiefs-Bills back-to-back.
Yeah, that would have been something else.
Dallas did it to themselves, so
yep.
The hell with them. But still, how about the storylines? Stroud and Love, 2 young quarterbacks playing out of their minds. Houston, 250-1 to win the Super Bowl, still alive. Tampa, 225-1, still alive. You got Baker and Goff with what they've done to their careers and, what Baker was looking at, and then Goff with the trade and the contract. They're going head-to-head. One of them will be in the NFC title game. You got the 2 studs with Mahomes and Allen, and then you have Lamar and Purdy, where they were battling it out for MVP until Purdy imploded.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a lot of storylines here with the 8 remaining teams in the 4 games.
You want to get nuts? Would you be okay with a Stroud versus Love Super Bowl? Bets aside,
wow.
Future's not taken into consideration. That would turn.
I want to see the big boys.
That would turn the NFL upside down.
What would you do if I make San Francisco 7 against Detroit?
That seems a bit high. They're 10 against Green Bay. I mean, what do you make Detroit against Green Bay? You make them only 3 at home?
Yeah, I saw what happened on Thanksgiving. That goes back to how crazy that Eagles game was. We talked to Gable. I talked to the guys at the Westgate. There was a line actually up in town yesterday where the game was 2.5.
Lions 2.5
Lions against the Eagles, right.
I think that would have been a gift.
Yeah, as it turns out, sure. Yeah. They weren't stopping them.
No, the gift was last night with the Buccaneers.
Right, yeah. But that's, who knows? I don't know. I think I want to see San Francisco, Detroit for all the marbles.
Let's see here.
That.
It was good to have a hot goalie reference today on the show.
Yeah, St. Cloud State reference. I can't believe Maddie, who we met last week, who won Circa Millions, went to the same college.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
3 years after you were out.
Yep.
Huh. Right, good show today, man. Yeah, Matt was awesome. What a story. Only year he's ever done the contest. Only had 1 entry.
That's easy.
He won it.
Piece of cake.
Here at Circa. If you missed any of the show, go back and search Follow the Money wherever you get your podcasts. Good luck betting tonight.